Good morning. Hi guys. How you guys doing today? I have a white thing up there and I thought it was something on my head. It's not. Hi. Hi Mom. Welcome in. You were first today. Critical, you were actually second. Arrow, you I hope were not last. And you weren't, because Ciceron was technically last so far. But I hope not last, because that would be a really slow, boring stream today. Anyway, today we're working on a new feature that Jana came up with the other day that I wanted to implement, so I did in a very short amount of time, and then I took the rest of the day off because I was kind of watching Quinn and Jana was working a lot, so I just sort of like stepped out. So I played Spider-Man like all day. But I'm gonna get back to it today and finish implementing it. Right now it's actually done and working, and we just need to be able to turn it on and off. I will show you what I'm doing if I can remember what I'm trying to do. We're gonna go to the forest level because we're gonna work on this next. So if I hit play, we have this new spotlight effect going on. If I zoom out, it gets smaller, so it doesn't really have any, like, there's not really any benefit to zooming out while you have it, which is nice. And zooming in, it gets bigger, because I didn't want players to just be able to, like, zoom out and solve all their problems. This is a bush I made yesterday. I don't know why I'm proud of it, but I am. It's just a bush that drops this little guy. Yeah, so we just need to be able to toggle this on and off. It's basically supposed to be like a lantern effect in a cave. I'm also thinking about having maybe the gray on the outside a tiny bit not transparent, or a little tiny bit transparent, just so it's not totally black. I'm also thinking, I know this circle sort of scales weird, but it is what it is. It's not gonna scale perfectly just because of how, like, the lerp works. I could probably make it work perfectly, but I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm also thinking about doing like a slight yellow tint to this, maybe, or like it would be a blue tint, just so it's not perfectly clear inside the light. Like there's some like it is a lantern. And I also thought about like actually switching the cursor to show a lantern. Like you're holding a lantern in your hand, but I don't know if that's, I don't think that's important. What's up, Starwolf? Yeah, I'm actually getting kind of excited about Swords and Magic again as well. I really want to get this next update out. And it's still very, very early, but I cannot keep secrets. But someone reached out, they're a publisher, and they're interested in, not really, I guess publishing? Yeah, I guess it's publishing, but publishing for console for Swords and Magic. Let me seek that adventure. Yeah, we're getting close. We're actually, aiming for a new demo update. We've actually got 2 more levels in the works that are almost done, and then we've done a bunch of polish and like clean up stuff. So we want to do another demo just to get a better representation of the game right now, because it's changed quite a bit. Anyway, so yeah, our goal is a new demo this week. But yeah, I might actually end up working on Swords and Magic a little bit today, because I'm kind of inspired, and I feel like whenever I have motivation to work on Swords and Magic, I should take it and run, just in case I don't have it again for a while. So it's good. Yeah, so the publisher is not interested in giving us any money, so not technically. They won't technically pay to get to 1.0. They mentioned supporting updates, so something about like we could launch on console before the game is finished and then just do updates so we can launch in like an early access state on there. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'd rather just get to 1.0 and then do console as like a final release thing. But they mentioned Switch and PlayStation, I seriously don't think that they're going to be able to port it to Switch without a lot of work. And by the time they're done with that work, Switch 2 is probably going to be out. So I'm hoping that they're just interested in doing Switch 2, and they have access to that. But I don't know. They're kind of a smaller, a little less known publisher. I'm not going to say who it is obviously yet until I actually know it's going to happen, because we haven't even like got in a meeting or anything. It's just been like 2 emails back and forth is all. But that's good news. Like it's cool to hear that people are interested in that, and there's a possibility there. Sorry, I got a little louder than I expected. So yeah, they will not be paying us to get to 1.0, but they're offering a really good deal. I think personally, because it was something that we were not interested in doing in the first place. Like we kind of just took consoles off the table for Swords of Magic and thought we'll be lucky to get to 1.0, let alone getting out on consoles or anything like that. So we're hoping that this might actually change that for us, which would be cool. So anyway, yeah, that's all I know right now. So there's still a lot to be learned about that. The possibilities there. More exposure. Yeah, so they're planning on doing some marketing. Not crazy though. It's not like they're like running ads or anything like that, but we could do that if we needed to or if we wanted to. But they are talking about doing like marketing beats and stuff like that for us. And then they also handle the nice thing is they handle all the porting, which is kind of crazy to me. So they would do all the technical work. So we would probably just send them the project, and then they would just start working on their own branch of the project to bring it to 1.0 or to bring it to console, which is why I think it would be important to get to 1.0 first. So any like optimizations and stuff like that they make don't like can be like that's it. It's not like I have to go back in after them and be like, oh yeah, I added some new content. So that also means that probably when it comes out to console, they probably won't get any additional updates. But I don't know. I need to talk to them first and see how they like handle all this, because maybe this is one of those things where they just kind of like take the game and optimize the hell out of it so it'll run on both, and then we just work from that build, and then hopefully there's just lots of optimizations and like the game just runs better on Steam as well. And then I can just update that, and then it's easy to port to consoles. I don't know. These are all questions I have to ask them because I don't know anything about porting or any of this. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm kind of in the dark on this one. So we're gonna find out. Anyway, what's the plan here? I'm trying to decide how we want to handle like this cave effect. So we need like the ability to turn on and off that light effect, essentially. That is handled in the HUD. I have to take my ring off, or I'll just keep playing with it and it'll start bothering me all day. Oh, got it. Okay. So we have this overlay going on here, which you can't see for some reason. That's okay. And I'm pretty sure I can just turn this whole thing off here. Maybe we make this a function. Let's pack this whole thing down to a function, and we'll call it cave lighting, I guess.
Thank you for the follow.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Hot Trash Games. All right, we have a cave lighting effect. We need some conditions here. What I don't know. Should we turn off tick? It's the only thing on tick. I guess we could just turn it off. Can we turn it off on a widget though? Might not be able to on a widget now that I think about it. There's tick frequency, auto, or never. If we switch to never, does this just not work? Yes. Can we change that? No. So we're looking for game mode map What if we just have it in game mode? What I'm thinking is we just go like get. I can't like turn on. Can I? Can I have a variable in here? I don't know if I can do this. Let's test it though. Can do this. Okay, and then we'll do, if we use lantern overlay, we'll handle the cave lighting effect. And then we'll do an if on this, or branch on this, and we'll do a, let's grab our lantern mask and do set visibility. Actually, let's just do this. False, we'll do collapsed. True, we'll do non-hit testable. We can still click through it. Okay, and then I don't know if we can do this. Let's go to the forest level and go to world settings. We have game mode. Select game mode. No. That would have been nice. I was hoping that maybe we had that exposed variable right here. Was it called cave? Yeah. So instead, we'll just do get all, or get actor of class, and then we're gonna make an actor, I guess, for this. I don't know how else to do it. We'll just make a new blueprint class actor and call this BP cave manager, I guess. Sure. And we're gonna drag it in. We should have like a, we should do a billboard probably. Like a cave symbol. That kind of looks like it's in the world, which is going to be confusing. So maybe we should either scale it down. Also, why is it that color? It's selected. Duh. Or maybe we do the highlighted one. And that's, I think that's it. Like, we can turn off tick, I guess. Nope, it's in defaults. I don't know what else to do with it. And we'll look for a cave manager. If this is valid, then we'll set cave to true. Otherwise, we'll set it to false. I don't think that false is going to matter, but. Oh, actually, hold on, because we actually need to know if. Let's do begin play. Let's actually let's do. I think it'll make more sense here. Oh, this is the map game mode. I'm an idiot. Hold on, we don't want game mode map. Hold on. This whole thing might change. We want this game mode. Oh, spelled that wrong. Is this being developed in UE5 or 4? This is being developed in UE5. Swords and Magic is in UE4. Still, this is in UE5. Okay, let's expose this because I'm curious if this actually does work. No. This is using game mode find. And that would have been so nice if this just exposed it here so I could customize this per level. Because I technically can. What if we do that? No. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go back here and we'll just steal this. Audio finished. This is all music stuff. Okay, and then also I want to check for the lantern. So if we're on K level, we'll check for lantern. So we'll do check. You don't have a lantern made yet. We can check for the fishing rod. I'm kind of considering making the like darkness effect show like semi-transparent so you can sort of see their stuff going on. I don't know. So what I'm worried about is players are going to think it's bugged. They're going to open a level and it's going to be like perfectly black and then be like, oh, it didn't load. And then go back to the menu and go back in the level again and it still won't load. and they'll just be like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So maybe we should do is like show at the top of the screen or something, like the lantern with an X through it or something, or like a line through it to show like you need a lantern. I don't know. Or on the cursor or something. It would be kind of nice if we had a lantern symbol on the cursor itself, and then if you didn't have it, then it just shows like the line through it, so you can see like you cannot miss that you're missing the lantern. We'll see. Dumb. All right, that should work. And then we'll go. Would have been nice if the key manager could have handled all that, but and I guess technically we could have just had like a function in the game mode. And I guess technically the HUD could have just, instead of grabbing the game mode, just looked for the lantern itself or the cave manager itself. I don't know. Maybe that was a little complicated for no reason, but it's fine. What's up, Kindred? I mean, sorry. Oh my God. What's up, Angel? Sorry. I went to read to say hi to Angel, and then I literally read the post that Kindred Games posted underneath that. Sorry, my brain didn't switch gears fast enough, so it was in limbo for a second, I guess. Hey, Mateus. Maybe add some fireflies to show that there's something there. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could look into that. My concern is I don't want the map to work at all without the lantern. Like, I don't want players to be able to do anything. So I'm thinking maybe if we're using the lantern overlay, we'll actually set this to visible. Like, let's do this. If we do this, let's do get lantern. Oh, this is the wrong game mode. That's why. Oh, we need to fix that then. To game mode find. So if we have the lantern, then we make this non-hit testable so we can click through it. Otherwise, make it visible. Yeah. But then we also should probably have this. We should also probably promote this. Because I need it in event tick. Wait, what's going on with this? What's all this doing? Handles saved window settings. Oh, right. This isn't working yet. That's something that's like a wish list item to like get the UI windows moved around. But we should have an event tick going on in here. Right here. So if we're using the lantern overlay, then we're doing this, but we also should have something in here. The light radius. We should do a select on this. And we do has lantern. If true, we do this. If false, we do 0. And then the light radius will be... Okay, there's no... I thought we put the cave level in here. We did. There's a cave manager in here, so why isn't this working? So game mode map, first of all. This can go away. Cave level. Oh, I know what's happening. I need to make sure this on the widget. This is happening on Begin Play, and it needs to be happening after the cave level is loaded. Event tick is fine. Is this one right here? This can't happen on pre-construct. Why do I think that was a good idea? I guess we can... No, we can't put it in here. It won't work on event construct either because it still hasn't happened. We need to bind to something. Let's go here and let's add a event dispatcher and call this handled cave or I don't know. Sure. And we'll call that in both places here. And then back in here, we'll do, this guy's fine. What if we do, assign finished cave loading? I need to start using that more often. Okay. Pretty sure it's gonna work now. Great. So a radius of 0 is still showing something. I wonder if that's because my material... Maybe it's clamped. We just need to set the feather to 0 as well. Let's just set our feather to 0 here. It's 0.05 right now. Yep. We just don't have a feather, or I mean the thing. So now here's the problem. Well, we won't find the lantern in this level ever. So if I go cheat, whoops. We give ourselves a lantern. And then we do clear save. Oh, duh. Wait, why can't I go back to the map? Why is the map not showing up here? Why is that happening?
Thank you for
What happened
the
to our map?
follow. Thank you for the follow.
Widget button map. Why did I do this? Oh. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, sorry. Thanks for the follows, guys. Welcome in. What's up, boss? Hi. Guess I'm running the place now? Yeah, Angel, you are.
Thank you for the
What else
follow.
is new, though, right? Try this again. I think this is supposed to be false. In which case, this will also be... We don't need to sum this up. Okay, so now... Oh, I can't do that, though. This isn't gonna work. I have no way of getting to that level and then restarting it. We need a cheat for, like, just restarting the level without clearing everything, I guess. Oh, we have open level. Level Forest 01. Okay, so let's go cheat. Lantern. You know what? I think I kind of like it without the feather anyway. I think I like the crisp circle. I think that feels better. Anyway, so we have the lantern now. And then if we can't get rid of the lantern, but can we? No. I think that works. Cool. Okay. So I just see, right, that you shook the code block to unwire it. Yes, you did. That's the thing. So we have, yeah, and it is exactly what Angel just said. Yes. It is a plugin. It is like, honestly, Notograph Assistant is hands down the best plugin I've ever purchased, and I use it in every single project except one project where apparently it causes problems. That's in Ryuthimus's Imperium project that I work on the side, and apparently in that project it's like conflicting with some other plugin he has, so I don't use it there. But when I use it, I feel it. Like, I can tell it's not there. I notice it like right away, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that here. I can't use these features here. Another cool thing is it lets you insert things. So if I had like a branch, you can just insert it in here. It like auto hooks the wire and everything, which you can't do normally. You can also, what else can you do? You can also get these scissors and just snip things. The insertion thing is really cool if you have like something like this with a whole bunch of inputs, whatever, especially with like a struct or something. You have like expanded down or whatever, you can just snap it to another struct and it connects all the wires for you. It saves a lot of time. A lot of cool things with it. Hey, what's up, Indie Game Clinic? No, I can't say, but just here, can't stay, but just here to pick up the game. Charming AF. Thank you. Thanks, man. Hey, I actually implemented like all of the feedback you left, and I'm planning on releasing an update for the demo here soon. Not asking you to play it again, but if you do want to play it like personally, if you that's something you want to do, I can let you know. I guess you'll probably notice on Steam when it gets updated, but I can also message you or something if you want. Anyway, but yeah, thanks again for the video, man. I appreciate it. It was really, really helpful, really insightful. Gave us a lot of stuff to think about and work on. And thanks for stopping in. That's so cool. Thanks, Info. Yeah, it's a great plugin. Absolutely love it. Whoop whoop. Yeah. Yeah, like one of the things that we implemented like immediately. Hang on, we're in a weird level to test to show you this. Was when you pick up an item now, it goes to your inventory, and then shows a little +1. And then when you get a coin, it also goes, or a gem, it also goes over to the gem thing. So that's one of the first things is like, how are you supposed to know when this kind of stuff happens? And then when you equip an item now, if I go to the weapon over, it also goes down into the equipment, so you know that something's changed in there, which will hopefully prompt. I thought about auto opening the equipment, but I thought that might get annoying when you're like swapping between equipment later in the game, because later in the game you're going to be swapping between things so you can get the benefits you want for your rolls. And I didn't want players like being irritated that the equipment panel kept opening over and over again. So instead of auto opening it, I just thought it makes more sense if it just pops there so you know that something's changed. We're also thinking about putting like a little like star or something on the equipment or on your inventory if you haven't equipped something you just got, or if you haven't looked at it. Haven't decided. But yeah, lots of little feedback all over the place. I don't remember what else there was, but that was like the big one that we changed. Chat were super helpful on that stream. Yeah, they really were. Thanks, man. How do you see in the house? Anyway, cave manager is working. That's great. So now we can have caves and lanterns. Let's go look at the material. Actually, I wonder if we can just cheat. Can we just do this in the widget? Like if we just go to lantern mask, can I just set the opacity in here? We just set this like 0.9. Does this work? It does. So let's try that. That's just a lot easier and faster to modify than having to do it in the material. That's pretty good because like you can still kind of see the level. We go a little more even. Whoa! Somebody got banned. Oh, Angel, thanks for listing linking that plugin. There, now you can still kind of see the level a little bit. So in case we do have, I'm kind of hoping. Yeah, so you can't move at all now, but that kind of sucks. But I guess it makes sense. Like you can't move around when you're in a cave in the dark, maybe? I don't know. How do we tell players that you're in the dark and it's not a bug? I'm really thinking we just have like a lantern icon. Maybe we just put a lantern icon at the top here and just like flash that. Hey, Jana. Let's do it. I think we're gonna do the highlighted one. Let's do what? This actually needs to be a wrap with an overlay. And then we need like a crossed out like red line. We could maybe just like make that with like a border or something, but not now. Let's just do this. Honestly, let's just do this too. Let's do 128 by 128. I don't know what to call this. I don't want to think about it too long. Wait, where did I just say this? What? Environment? Why? Why did I do that? Oh, maybe I should put a stroke around it. Let's just see what it looks like first, I guess. What? Why is that not showing up? Oh, it's behind the thing. It's a little small. I think it needs to move or flash or something. Oops. Try to alt tab between my windows and Unreal Engine. Doesn't work. Okay, let's make it flash when it is on here though. My God, I hate that. Let's do render opacity. And we'll just have it like ping pong back and forth. And this just needs to be step. That won't work. We need to go. How do I want to do this? Maybe that's fine. I don't want it to like make it bounce smooth. I want it to be like, I want to make sure that players know it's there. Playing Swords Magic while watching the stream, nice. No, but Angel, he is doing a lot of coloring lately. He's definitely taking a huge interest in like coloring and drawing, which is cool. I mean, he's only 2, so it's just scribbles right now, but like he loves doing it, so that's cool. I think we'll do that. I think we'll just do like a flash on and off. Select. We'll do, so has lantern. If it's true, we'll do non-hit testable. If it's false, we'll just do collapsed. And then at the end of this, oh wait, this is wrong. I think I should probably, it's fine. Just do has lantern. Oh, you know what we should do? We should probably, now that we have to do something custom, I'm regretting these selects. Now I'm kind of thinking we should just do like a true or false or a branch on this. fine. This is annoying, but let's keep it separate. Okay, and then if we have the lantern, we're not gonna play the animation, and we're just gonna get rid of the this like strike through image. This one. Make this a variable. That's fine. We'll just name it different things and everywhere, so that way set visibility to collapsed. If we have the lantern, and then just in case for some reason we need to alternate that, we shouldn't need to, we'll do it that way. The HUD gets rebuilt on every level, so it should just automatically reset to not being collapsed, and there's no way that you can get a lantern in a level that's already dark, so it shouldn't matter. We'll do it anyway. And then we will do this one, no, not this one, and we'll do play animation. Animation, lantern icon flash, play. We want to loop this 0 times, meaning it loops all the time. And that's it. Okay, so now if I play, no lantern. If that's not obvious enough, then I don't really know what to do. Like, I want players to be able to go to the level, but I want them to immediately be like, oh, I can't do anything in this level. Like, okay, I'm missing the lantern. I can't do this. Let's go back. Oh. Hold on. We missed something. No? Hello? What happened to this? Because there's no cave loading. The cave loading doesn't happen on that level because it's different game mode. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So now let's clear save, and let's open level Forest 01. Okay, yeah. And then let's go back here, and let's cheat and get the lantern, and then let's open Forest 01. Now we have the lantern. So it's a little annoying that it's on the screen in your way. I wonder if we put it like at the bottom instead. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it annoying? Is it in the way? But you can still click through it and everything. It doesn't really affect you. Oh, you can't. You cannot click through it. That's weird. Not weird. What do you think? Think should it be removed once you have the lantern? Just to be gone completely? Like you don't think it should be it should show up at all? Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's obvious enough. Another idea I had was just to put like the lantern on the cursor. And then if you don't have the level or don't have the lantern, instead of flashing up here, we could just show it with the strike through next to your cursor. Yeah, it's fine. We'll just leave it how it is. It's obvious enough. Move on. Sure. I'll check out this level. And then we're just going to take this cave manager out. So Jan, I don't know if you saw that, but all you have to do, if you want to make a dark level, you just drop the cave manager in. You just bloop. Now it's a cave. And now it's a dark level. That's it. Okay, so we have these things. Let's get rid of these dirt splotches. What's going on? I'm gonna leave the 1. We're gonna use the 1, I'm pretty sure. And let's go to pond, BP pond. We're gonna use this in a way that is not intended. Why is this not closing the loop? I thought we did this on purpose. I thought we fixed that. It's not 0. This needs to be a 0. There we go. Probably removed. I wouldn't put the lantern on the cursor. Cave manager, got it. Okay, cool. We're on the same place. Once you know what it means, you don't need to be remembered or reminded. Yeah, got it. Let's flip this. I'm slightly concerned that this color is off a little tiny bit. But it's so hard to tell. It needs to be like a hair brighter. I mean darker. Can you guys see it? I can't see it. I think we did it. You can see that one because it's got like an outline around it, which sucks. But we should be able to do. Should be fine. Still not drawing it under. Oh, right. I'll be right back, guys. One sec. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I heard a big crash downstairs and then Quinn started crying, so I wanted to just check on him. He's fine. He was just sprinting down the hallway and fell on his knees. Boy things. Okay, that looks perfect. Hitting play. Yeah, I don't see those blend perfectly. Cool. The nice thing is this pond system that I built, as you saw, uses splines. It's a little annoying because you have to you can't see it as you're building it, but I can build some pretty complicated things like this. Oh no, that's not what I thought was happening at all. I must have grabbed the wrong axes. I don't think I can grab all of these. Oh yeah, I can. I do end. I guess that one was on the ground. Anyway, pretend I didn't do that. There it goes. So I can build pretty complicated things. It breaks up or breaks down a little tiny bit, and I can turn up the mesh complexity. It's just annoying that I have to like keep clicking this. We go like 90 maybe. And now you can, it works a little better. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty handy. There's not a good way to get it to update every frame. Like I can do it, but then it like breaks the mesh every time. So not worth it. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It was actually, we built it for ponds, but I thought, well, we may as well make it for like dirt piles and things like that as well. And I can just swap the mesh out whenever I want. So I can go change it to like oh, we're already using the dark forest floor in here, which I don't like. I don't like the forest floor. Grass. I don't know, material instance. Yeah, so we can do things like that. Like, I don't know, like shadows or something. I don't know. That's cool. Or like water, obviously. We can do this with purple spot if we want to do that. It's neat. I like it. Okay. We need sand piles here. I don't have my drawing interface, nor do you guys want to sit through me doing that while you can't even see what I'm doing, since I don't have my Twitch was so behind. Weird. What's up, Summon? And yeah, Quinn's okay. Angel, thank you for asking. He was already done crying by the time I got downstairs, so he's fine. Just working on my taxes. Ooh, we already did our taxes. They're already submitted, and we should be getting a refund. Yay. So yeah, we need to make a sand pile, but we'll just leave those alone for now. Or like a pile of dirt, I guess. I'll make that later today, I guess. I think we just need some more trees. So let's go to foliage. Actually, hold on. Let's fix this road. Things are being really choppy, and I don't know why. Jana doesn't want this road to, like, go anywhere. I think she said. I don't know why it's being so choppy. Is the stream lagging too, or is it just the project? Just the project, which is weird. I don't know why it's doing that. As soon as I stop editing the spline, it's fine. Too much. Too little. Good enough. Okay, that's fine. I don't love this like ends here. Can I change the material of this path? No. Maybe I could. Wondering if we actually can't do this. Just kidding, we can. Oh, and let's make sure we expose that. I don't know, it's kind of weird that we're just going from this like mud spot though. I guess it's fine. My tax guy retired and I haven't found a new one, so I got to do it myself or file an extension. Yeah. And my question, do you ever use AI to support your coding, or do you not agree / don't find it useful? Yeah, so I do blueprints, meaning AI can't really make blueprints for me. However, I do use a lot of AI. I use GPT every single day, in game development, in everyday life, all kinds of, all over the place. And when I end up using usually is like just as a brainstorming tool for the most part. Like, for example, I actually used AI to come up with how to do this material. Where'd it go? Hello? This. Okay, hold on. Hey, hold on, with the cheat. Hang on. Oh, this won't work. Yeah, well. Hang on, I'll show you. Used AI to make this material. It didn't make the material. I made the material. But I asked GPT how to make the material because I couldn't figure it out myself. And now it works. So yeah, this like lantern effect material is cool. And it's gonna be used in some of our like dark levels. So yeah, I used AI to come up with a way to do this because I'm not good with materials, and so yeah, that worked really well. So I use it for mostly like it didn't write the material for me, but it told me like how to go about doing it. Basically, I use it for like high level thinking, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't agree with AI generated art being used in games. To a certain extent. I think if you're going to create AI art, you need to be modifying that art in some way to make it your own, with your own hands. I don't think anyone should just be like generating a bunch of art and then just slapping it in a game or posting it online and claiming it's their own. And I've seen a lot of people who call themselves artists who have never actually created any art, and they just type in prompts to create image or whatever, and then they're like, cool, I'm an artist. And I'm like, no. If anything, you're like a prompt engineer, sure. You can call yourself that if you'd like, but you don't get to call yourself an artist. Artists make art. So I don't know. I think that's like my hard line is sort of like, if you're using it to make art and then you're claiming it to be your own art, I think that's false advertising. And I don't really have much of a problem with AI using things like anything posted publicly online, because I like to think that art is an iterative process anyway, and I think that everything that all the art I've ever made has always been influenced or inspired or a direct like result of some other art that I'd seen somewhere or some other game I've seen somewhere or whatever. So I think trying to get any sort of AI or whatever to create something out of nothing is not possible. And I think it's the same thing with people. Like if you wanted a person to create art out of nothing, it's not going to happen, right? You have to have some sort of like starting point that you have learned from or whatever. So AI does great blood spatters. I could see that. I think that kind of stuff is probably fine, right? Like if you're using it to make like teeny tiny things that are like really inconsequential, that's probably fine. But where I definitely have a hard like no is when you are like generating concept art, or like maybe not concept art. Concept art's fine. If you're generating like like characters, whatever, with a Midjourney or something, and then you take that image into like a 3D, an AI like 3D model generator, and you create your characters like that, and then you go rig them and put them in a game. Like that's where I'm like, no, this is not okay. And if you're like, one thing that really bothers me is that you go to like Fab now, or like the Unreal Marketplace, whatever you want to call it, and you can go like scroll through like icons, whatever, and like 99% of the icons and like UI packs and stuff that you see on there now are all AI generated. But there's just like hundreds of them, and it's just like, it's so lazy and it's so frustrating, and it's like no one's going, like I hope no one is buying those packs so people just stop doing it because it's not making any money, but people are. So that's how games are going to be made in 5 to 10 years. I think we have longer than that, but I do think that I think we are going to get to the point where AI generated art or models like 3D art is going to be a thing that's like pretty big. And I do think that AI generated like game art is going to be a thing here soon, unfortunately. So yeah, I do think that's going to happen. But I think it's sort of the same thing. Like if you're like browsing through like Pinterest or, man, I don't know. It's such a weird thing because like games are like this, it's like a different beast. Like the majority of art that gets created doesn't get sold, right? It just gets posted online somewhere, and then people can look at it, and that's it, right? You post it on your ArtStation or your DeviantArt. Is that still a thing? Whatever. And it just gets like browsed online, and people see it, and they go, "Wow, that's cool," and that's it. And maybe they save it as a wallpaper or something. That's like the most it gets used for the majority of art. But game development is totally different. And I'm not saying that like most games get like purchased, because obviously we're in the same boat with like games where it just gets posted on, people can play it. But I think it's just like a different story. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking from my like commercial side of like game development. I don't know. I just don't think that I don't think that anyone is out there generating AI art and then selling it. Okay, no, let me take that back. People are doing that, but I don't like it. I don't think that's cool. I don't think you should be selling like t-shirt prints made with AI art. I don't think you should be doing things like that, because it's like, I don't know, it's just not something you created. But it doesn't mean it's not happening. And I just don't think that should be happening with games. And I think it's going to be a weird gray area. You can create 3D models right now. Yeah, I know, but they're not great. Use Blender and add-ons to auto retopologize, and you have a game ready asset in like 20 minutes. Yeah, I think if you auto retopologize them, then it breaks the textures summon, because it doesn't like redistribute the topology, which means you have to retexture the model. Then I don't think it's possible to just retopologize a 3D generated model that simple. I'm pretty sure it breaks all the UVs. So then at least you're then doing some like textures. Blender does it all. I don't know. I'd have to see that to believe it. I don't know if I believe you there. You can project the UVs to the new model. Okay, yeah, that you can actually do that. That actually makes sense. Well, I disagree with that. I think that it's going to show. Like, I think that if you're playing a game and you have Like I think all the art's gonna look and feel mismatched and weird, and I think it'll be noticeable. I think players will eventually figure it out, and I think those AI games, first of all, if I think, and this is no shade to anyone in chat who's like just is not an artist and not capable of doing this, I guess, but I think that if you are, the majority of people doing this are just so lazy that they can't be bothered to make a game. They're definitely not going to be bothered to actually code the game correctly, and they're definitely not going to be bothered to like spend the time testing and making sure it's fun and like actually designing the game properly, right? I think the majority of these games are just going to be like churned out, and there'll just be more AI slop, and I don't think that they're going to go anywhere. And maybe I hope I'm not proven wrong, but I probably will be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of AI games out there that blow up and like have like only up levels of success, where it's just some garbage game just churned out that goes viral on Twitch and people play it nonstop and they make millions. Doe ads, sorry. I don't know when ads happen anymore, apparently. I'll stop talking about. I love that Summon thinks I have wisdom. There. Let's just switch to foliage. Now that we have like a path and we know that where that's going, let's start dropping in some foliage. Oh, right. We don't use foliage for the trees. I forgot. We don't. The trees are not foliage. Are these trees, do these trees have, they're supposed to drop pine cones. I don't remember if Janice set that up because I did not pull. Okay, let's do this. While we're wait, let's save everything. Sure. Hey, resub. Thank you, Summon, if you're back. Let's close this. Let's pull Janice changes real quick. Welcome back. Ads are over. That was fast. That was fast 3 minutes. Incoming changes. Push 2 while we're at it, and then we'll open the project again. Anyway, I don't know. I like to think that the players will recognize the AI slop, and those games aren't going to go anywhere. And I just really hope that within a certain amount of time, within a short amount of time, AI is going to start getting seen as like, I don't know, the easy way out, I guess. And I hope that players and viewers and anyone else who's like consuming the media, like AI generated media or whatever, realizes like how much better like handmade stuff is. That said, I don't know. I don't know, like I'm torn, you know, like part of me is just gatekeeping because I feel like this is like using an engine like Unreal Engine or whatever and like buying assets or whatever, I'm sure feels very, very similar to like someone who grew up coding, like learning to code in like the 80s, right? I'm sure they went through something the same thing. I mean, it happened way slower for them though, right? Like I'm sure looking at something, oh man, we need to fix this. We broke this thing. We need to make a new material for it. Damn it. Anyway, I think like it's got to be hard looking, like thinking like, man, I was coding games for like, you know, Super Nintendo or whatever, or like, I don't know, Commodore. I don't even know what, like if there were like indie developers making games back then. I'm sure there were, but I'm sure they were like making games that just for their friends, whatever, or sending them into like magazines, whatever, to be distributed. I don't know. But I feel like that is sort of a similar thing, right? Like you look at game engines now and you're like, oh my God, you literally just, you know, you can just drop in 3D meshes that have like millions of polygons and turn on nanite and it just works. And you don't have to worry about like, you know, making like baking normals with that. Even that like feels like crazy to me, but I feel like there's like a difference there. Like I feel like I don't know why I feel like it's a difference. Maybe just because it was so much more gradual, you know, like I learned how to like bake normals and make all this stuff, and then now suddenly we don't really have to do that anymore. I mean, we do, but not like in every project or whatever. And so it feels, and maybe just because it affects me directly and I'm like, oh, this is saving me so much time, I don't have to worry about it now, then it's great. But as an artist, I feel like AI is like a totally different ballgame. I don't know why though. But anyway, yeah, it's like so easy now to like just make a game in Unreal Engine. Like you don't have to build all your frameworks, you don't have to write your engine, you don't have to like code physics and things like that anymore. So I'm sure a lot of coders from like the 80s are looking at this going, man, when I was, you know, getting started, it was so much like more hard work, and I wish that people weren't just able to like drop into it like Unreal Engine and start using blueprints and like make a game in like, you know, a month or whatever. Like I'm sure there's a little bit of gatekeeping going on there too. But I also feel like just because it was such a gradual change that it just was like a slow change. And so I feel like a lot of those people are not as hardcore into the gatekeeping. But with AI art and AI generation and even AI code stuff, like it just happened like overnight. Like the last few years, it's just been totally blown up. And so I feel like there's a lot of like we're still kind of in a like this weird adjustment period where I think a lot of us who have been making games for like, you know, 10 plus years, whatever, and like are now, especially art and stuff, are now seeing like how easy it is just to type a prompt and hit enter, and it just makes like this gorgeous art you could never dream of making for some of us, or that would take, you know, a week or whatever to make for some other people. I feel like that's like hard to swallow, and I think it's just creating a lot of gatekeeping, especially like, and I'm in that boat. I feel like I'm gatekeeping a lot because there's just a lot of people, like I was just saying, like I saw this guy the other day who's like posted online, and he was like saying something about how he's an artist, and then it came to be that he was like, you know, just using like Midjourney or whatever to generate art, and I was like, you don't actually know how to do art. You're just generating images with Midjourney, and I just feel like that's, I don't know, disingenuous, I guess, and frustrating, as in like almost it's just like insulting to someone who actually spent their time learning to make art and took the time to do that stuff, and now these people just like type in a prompt and hit enter, and it's just there. And I'm not saying don't do that. Like I use Midjourney a lot. I actually just paid for it again because I really like generating concept art for things, because it's just so much faster to just generate an idea through there and then draw it or sculpt it or paint it or model it or whatever, you know, from that, or just to get ideas for whatever, like maybe just to get inspiration for your game or something, like to generate some quick concept art specific to what you need is really handy. And I do feel like I'm kind of, you know, the pot calling the kettle black here in that regard, because I know there's a lot of concept artists out there who would love to get paid for their job, for their work right now. And I'm not putting them out of work, because I wouldn't have paid a concept artist to come up with an idea for, you know, the new mouse themed game or whatever I'm thinking about. Like I wouldn't have went and like paid $300 for a concept artist to like paint up a concept for me for that, even though it would have been much better quality than asking GPT to generate one. I just wouldn't have had it. So I'm not putting anyone out of work by doing that, but I know there's a lot of big studios who are. Okay, let me catch up on Twitch now. You added pine cones, that's why I pulled. Yay, Prime subs. Yeah, thank you so much for the sub, Summon. Appreciate that. AI is a touchy subject for artists. I find the concept art it generates massively motivational. Yeah, exactly. AI slop is AI slop, yeah. But artists can use it to create so much more, create things faster, and get rid of the pain points. Yeah, which is exactly how we did our Steam page. You know, like, and I'm not super proud of the fact that we use AI, but I literally worked with several artists. Not that one. Is it on the store page? Yeah, this one right here. We worked with several artists. We paid thousands of dollars to generate like several images, and none of them captured the game how I wanted it to, until I finally went to Midjourney and I attempted it. And then I got stuff that was way closer to what I wanted. It wasn't perfect, but that's where my artistic side came in. Like I went in and added all their weapons, and I tweaked all their hair, and I changed all the, like I did a bunch of like recoloring stuff, and I repainted their hands and like added horns, and like I did a bunch of stuff, added a dragon in the background, added fairies all over it, added a chest in the bottom right corner, fixed up some of the weird rocks that were like just weird looking. So like I did a bunch of art on it. I spent like 3 or 4 hours, but the foundation of that art, that thing, is AI generated, and I feel guilty about using it, but at the same time, like like I said, I worked with several artists trying to make what I wanted here, and I've given them the exact same prompt that I gave GPT or Midjourney, and they were not able to capture what I wanted. Even when I worked with like an artist that I was really, really excited about, like I literally own posters that they've created, and they've been hanging in my house, and I didn't even know that artist, like who the artist was, until like I looked into it, and I was like, oh my god, I have this guy's posters on my wall. Like I love this guy's art. And even when I worked with him, like I love the art that came out, but it still didn't capture what I wanted from Swords of Magic. It did not capture the vibe that I was looking for. And I feel like Midjourney was able to do that because I understood the vibe, so I was able to just kind of like, I don't know, like I kept asking for more things until I found the vibe I was looking for. But it would have taken like months to go back and forth with a concept artist to find this specific thing, probably. And maybe if I found better concept artists, or I knew how to work with them better, I don't know, it would be faster. But I don't know. I feel guilty. I definitely feel guilty about using that, but at the same time, it was a much better result for a lot less money than working with an actual artist. Learn AI and use it as the tool it is. Yep. As someone who wants to get into graphic design / video editing, AI slightly worries me. Yeah, but again, like Simon said, just you got to learn to use it, and that's kind of I kind of feel like that's where I'm at too. Like I'm totally embracing AI for like code related things. In fact, I've been thinking lately, like I've had this like weird revelation, because I've had lots of ideas in the past for like apps or like websites and things like that, and I'm just like, well, I don't know how to code in that stuff, and I'm not going to hire someone to do it, so it's not going to happen. And I'm having this weird revelation where it's like, man, I could probably ask GPT to make that for me, you know? Or I could have GPT like make this tool or this Maya script or whatever I want to do, or like this Mel or Python script or whatever. Like I could do all these things that like I couldn't do before, because now GPT can just walk me through it, and I don't have to ask someone for help or whatever. And that's really empowering. And I think that's where AI really shines, is like some people just don't have the time or effort or energy or whatever, or the finances or whatever, to like learn those certain tools to do those things. And it's nice that GPT can like bridge that gap now for us. And I feel like it's the same thing with art, but there's just, I don't know, art just like, I don't know. I guess it's the same thing. I don't know. It's hard to like pinpoint why it feels so different with art. And I know it's just because I know how to do art, and I feel guilty about using it like that. The worry is more of why hire me when a local business can just use AI? I've already seen it with social media posts with businesses. Yeah, boss, no, that's 100% true. I think that what you have to do is you have to get so good at it using AI, like use AI as a tool and get so good at it that you can, and also like selling yourself too, like build an amazing portfolio, and then you have to go to these companies and say, I know you can generate this stuff with AI, but like I challenge you to try to generate like this thing, like like this thing that I can create or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's got to be, you have to like really sell yourself. But yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff, like very specific things that you just can't get AI to do yet. And I know that eventually you'll be able to do it. Like I know that we're getting more and more tools where you can just like generate AI and then say, yeah, I don't like this guy's hand. You just circle the hand and regenerate that part, and then it regenerates it. And that's where we're gonna like, once we have like more fully featured tools and like software that you can just download that has all this stuff built into it, that's where like it's gonna get crazy, and then it's gonna be kind of GG for graphic designers and artists, which sucks. It sucks, but I think it's just like gonna be a new tool. I think it's just gonna be like the camera, you know. And I think while it does put people out of work, I think here's another idea. I think another way to look at this is, instead of looking at it like, man, as an artist, I'm not gonna be able to like get work anymore doing this thing. But I think the mindset shift you need to have is, instead of thinking like, I'm not going to get work anymore, is you have to think about what do you want to learn to do art, and do the art for yourself. You know, like you don't need to find a company anymore to hire you to do this thing. You can just do it for yourself and make whatever you want to make. And if you want to sell that art or make a game or make a company or whatever that, you know, with that art, then you can do that now, I guess. I don't know. To me, it's never been like, I never learned 3D art because I wanted to work for a company and make art for them. It's always been, I wanted to learn art or whatever, or I wanted to learn to code or whatever so I can bring my ideas to life. So to me, I guess I don't really see a problem with AI taking over in that regard. The only problem is that as someone who wants to make games and like create experiences like this, it's going to make it way difficult for me to create art and games and stuff like that when the entire market is flooded with all these people who now can make games by clicking a button. And like that, like it's going to completely flood all the marketplaces where I can sell games, where I actually know how to design a game and like build a game and like put all the pieces together and everything. And a lot of these AI artists and AI developers, whatever, are not going to be able to do that because they've never done that before. They're just going to click buttons and then it's going to make a game. They're going to go, yeah, this is going to be good. And then they publish it and then it's not going to be good. And it's just going to make it harder for other games to get seen. Then again, a lot of people say like, you know, the cream will float to the top or whatever. And that's probably true. So we'll see what happens. Oh, can you replace me with AI? Oh, the good old days of helping him get past a blocker in Unreal. I don't know. Honestly, Summon, I don't think... I mean, probably a little bit. Like, there's probably a little bit of, like, hey, how do I do this thing or whatever, like, with GPT, where I can just, like, get a quick, like, overview about, like, how something works or, like, how to, like, for example, data layers, right? Like, when I was doing data layers in Threads, this is something I might have gone to you to ask you about because you probably knew about. Or I probably would have asked Ryuthamus, who is using data layers in his project, and I hadn't touched them yet. But in Threads, I was like, they've got to be pretty similar to like just having like sublevels, because I know it replaced sublevels. So I just asked GPT, like, how do I set up a new data layer? And it just gave me an overview of how to do that. So yeah, well, I don't really need to reach out to people to ask them for help for things like that anymore. Or GPT will send me like a link to a YouTube video that I can go watch or something, you know, which saves me some time searching it for myself and trying to find a good one. I don't know. I think part of it, Summon, is just that I have just leveled up. Like I just know what I'm doing more. And so I don't have to ask for help anymore. Like for the most part, I can make pretty much any game I can think of or that I would want to make. I can definitely think of games that I couldn't just make off the top, like easily, you know, but like I can pretty much make any game that I feel like making. If I want to make like, I don't know, a first-person shooter or whatever, I kind of have an idea of how to handle every aspect of that at this point, even like the art stuff. There's a little bit of stuff like technical things, like I'd have to like refresh myself on how to like handle like aiming, right? Like how do I get the bullet to leave the gun at this angle and then hit the center of the screen where I want it to hit, or where the crosshairs are aiming to. Things like that. Like it's just like the triangulation of like, you know, I had to do a line trace, whatever, from the camera, and then the line trace from the gun or whatever, and I had to like get a refresher on that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I don't really need to ask for help anymore because I've done this long enough now. I feel like I'm experienced enough now to just do it. I know old school coders that feel the same way about the new IDEs. Yeah, that's what I was saying about the, like, I know coders from like the 80s who are like, you know, like coding like, you know, Super Nintendo cartridges and stuff. Like that's, I can't even like wrap my head around how much more complicated that probably was. Like I can't even imagine coding art into a game. You know what I mean? Like that's, I still don't understand how that was done. Like my brain can't comprehend that. Like, cause they didn't just like use a pixel art program and then upload the images into a user interface. Like it had to be coded in, and I don't understand how the hell they did that. Like that's crazy to me. And I'm sure developers from back then who had to do that kind of stuff look at Unreal Engine and stuff like that now, and they're just like, my God, you guys have no idea how spoiled you are. And that even I feel like that, because like when I started making games in Stencil and like RPG Maker was like insane, and I was using like XP back in the day, and I just remember thinking like watching like the girls at like the summer camp I worked at last year, and then the year before. Like watching them like learn Unreal Engine and be able to make a game in like a week, compared to like what I went through when I first started trying to make games, it's just insane. I mean, I guess RPG Maker is pretty fast to make games in, but still, it's just totally different than like Unreal Engine and how the power you have. S&M 2.0 incoming? No, that's definitely not happening. Learning how to use DaVinci Resolve to create short form videos to show off my games. Yeah. Famous last words. I use data layers in UEFN, and oh my god, it's freaking amazing in UEFN. Yeah, it's pretty great in Unreal, period. So I couldn't imagine it's too much worse. Oh, I need to fix this link. Apparently this link doesn't work anymore. What? Sure it does. I don't know why you wouldn't use this link. I don't know. Anyway, I apparently need to update that link because I'm not getting paid for those things anymore, which sucks. And I don't know how long that's been going on, but I've been promoting Game Dev TV for years now, and apparently they changed their stuff a while ago. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. AI is gonna be. Part of me wonders if it's like, is this gonna be sort of like NFTs were, where like it was all the rage and like everyone was going crazy about NFTs and they were just like, oh my god, this is gonna be nuts, like. And then like blockchain too. People were talking about how you can make like MMOs with blockchain items and like everything's gonna be like this unique item, and like you don't need servers to, you know, handle all the stuff, and it's like everyone's just losing their mind over it, and then it just died off. Like no one cared anymore. And same with NFTs. Like now NFTs are just kind of a big joke. Like I don't think that there's anyone out there like still purchasing and trading NFTs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the craze is just gone, but it's still happening. But I feel like that's kind of died off. And so I wonder if AI is gonna do the same thing. Like I used to follow a bunch of AI news channels, and I feel like they've kind of slowed down because like there's just not that much crazy stuff happening compared to like what it was. And I also remember like a year and a half, 2 years ago, watching all these videos about how like we're right on the cusp of like AGI and ASI and all this stuff, and like I feel like they've been posting videos about that like every month for like the last year and a half, 2 years. Sorry, AI market is completely different. Crypto market was easy to take advantage of. AI market is completely different. Yeah, I think the AI market originally was really easy to take advantage of. For example, I have a book here that Jana was kind enough to make or get for me, and it's a book that I wrote. So like, I was very confused when I opened it because I definitely didn't actually write this book. But she found a website that uses like AI. There we go. That uses AI, and you like put in a bunch of information, and then it just like uses that information to write a book by you. And at first I was like, is this like a ghostwriting service, like an AI ghostwriting service that they're trying to sell you on? And then she read the website, and it said like, you can't use them commercially, so it's just for like fun gag gifts or whatever. Interesting hairstyle choice. Well, that's actually a picture of me. That was my hair like 2 months ago. Don't ask me. It was an emo shot. I don't know why she chose that picture. That's like that was like my profile on Facebook. Thanks though. Appreciate that, boss. I've cut my hair since then because it's fun. Yeah, I wanted to. I don't know. I'm getting older. I think part of my midlife crisis was like, I haven't had a edgy hairstyle in a long time. I've just been cutting it short. I still kind of want to read that book. I think you can order multiple copies, but we don't get any money from it, so I don't know if I want to promote it or not. It's actually like it's pretty decent. I mean, like it's pretty generic, like GPT like advice, you know, so it's just like, you know, like but it's a legitimate book. Like there's a bunch of information and stuff in it, and it's a parenting guide, in case you missed that on the cover. I'm trying to get to the contents, but there's chapters like Epic adventures at home, activities for all ages. The inventory must have parenting tools. Monster encounters, dealing with tantrums. The healers, practicing empathy and support. Like it's pretty cool. Like they did a pretty good job of like building a whole like book around that theme and like in the style that Jana put in everything. I don't know, it's cool. But how do we get onto this topic? What did we say? Oh, right. So I think a lot of people were able to like take advantage of AI early on and start building businesses around it and make money without doing like any actual work, which is kind of crazy. Like I do think a lot of people who like jumped on the AI train, like for example, I literally built and I kind of wish I would have just kept going with this. It's not going to work now because I'm pretty sure it's out of date and such. Come on, open up. But I literally built an AI like driven game in Unreal when GPT was first coming out. I think it was like 3.5 when it had first launched, and I was like, I have to try this. And I found a plugin on the marketplace, and I implemented it and built like a D&D. It's just kind of like a skinned like text game, I guess. Come on. God, this Epic Launcher takes like 10 minutes to open now. It's so frustrating. Thank you. Maybe it's in here. Actually, maybe I got rid of it. I may have deleted it. No, it's this one. Oh, I don't have this version anymore. Let's just open it in 5.2 and hope that it works. Anyway, if it doesn't open, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's like I just made like a quick like little like UI thing. I think I actually might have just like downloaded a free UI pack or something. I don't know. And then I just like added GPT support to it, and then it would like prompt you like what kind of adventure you want to have or whatever, or it would like prompt you with like what's your character's name, what class are you, what race are you, things like that. And then I even like set up like tokens, or like not tokens, like keywords or whatever. I don't know what you call it now. It's been a while. Where like whenever you were like given an item, GPT would be told like, okay, if the player ever receives an item, then you're going to use this code that says like grant item _ item name _ whatever. And then I like set up code in the game so when it saw those things, it actually added it to an actual inventory. And then whenever the player tried to use an item, then GPT was told like use this prompt first or whatever, and then it would like post their, oh no, I think I actually did that with I don't know how I did that, whatever. But GPT was given like the prompt of all of the inventory, so it kept track of the inventory, so every time it would like use it or whatever, and it could remove items and things like that. It also like did things like stats and health and things like that. So like I set up this whole thing so like actually keep a much better track of like what's going on in the game than GPT would actually normally do. So there's code on the back end that's like handling that stuff. And I thought it was like super clever, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be like a way for players to just like play D&D by themselves, basically. I don't know why this is generating project files. This was probably a bad idea. I didn't need to open this right now. Well, whatever. If it opens, we'll look at it. I don't think it even works though. But anyway, I thought it was really cool, and I was like excited about it. I rock backward hats though. Thanks, boss. Yeah, the backward hat thing is a relatively new style for me. I was an emo kid, and so for a lot of my younger years, until I was like 22, maybe 23 probably, I had like the emo hair. And then for a while I was like in like a hardcore like metal band stage, and there was a lot of the artists I liked had this like long hair in the front and then long hair in the back and short on the sides, and I was doing that for a while, and so I had this like rat tail thing that I'd like pull. I don't know, it sounds so stupid now, and I thought it was really cool. And some of like I have some pictures of it. I'm like, man, that was a cool style or whatever. I don't think it would work now. I think it's out of date now. But anyway, I had a pretty edgy hairstyle for a long time, and then in like my early 20s, my nephew was sitting in my lap, and I was like whipping my hair out of my face because I couldn't see, because I had the emo hairstyle still, and he like grabbed my hair and pulled that out of my face, and he goes, he goes, why do you have, or why don't you cut your hair if it's in your eyes or whatever? And he was like 4 or 5 or something. And I was like embarrassed that like a toddler, like, or like a child, like explained that like gave me a solution to a problem that I was running into. Sure, I guess. Without that plugin, it's definitely not going to work because that's the whole project, whatever. Anyway, and I was like, I went home that night and I was like, Jana, let's just cut my hair. And I just had her buzz it. Oh my God. No, just, it doesn't matter. Just go away. I don't care anymore. Okay, I think I gave up. Or it'll open in a minute and then I'll regret it. Anyway, so yeah, so I buzzed my hair. And then I've had like a pretty normal haircut ever since. So recently, last like year or so, I decided I was going to grow it out again. And that was the result of that. And that was pretty much as long as I got. And then I had Jana cut it recently. So it's short again. Mullet haircuts are actually in again, or they were fashion again a year or two ago. Yeah, so what I've noticed is that, so I grew up in Wyoming. And whatever is fashionable in the rest of the world is fashionable in Wyoming about a year or two later. And so because I was like into like bands and like stuff like that, I was constantly like seeing what was actually in style or whatever. And so through high school, I was like all emo kid, but I was like literally the only emo kid in my entire high school. My graduating class was only 200 people. So yeah. So I was like this emo kid. And I was wearing like eyeliner and like had like the emo hair, and I was doing like I wore like the cut up, like the fingerless gloves and like this studded belt and all this stuff. Like I was skinny jeans, all that stuff. And at the time it was like super edgy and everyone thought I was, you know, crazy for it. And I got bullied a lot, which hindsight, I don't know. I don't know if I would have changed things, but anyway. And then like, I was a senior about to graduate and I was still like the only emo kid. And then like this like freshman came, a bunch of, you know, the new freshman class whatever came in, and there were like 4 or 5 kids that like dressed exactly like me. And I was like, what? Where did these kids even like learn this from? And then like that, now it's like popular there. Or I don't know if it's there, if it's now, but it was for a while there. After I graduated. So I was like, I don't know if I felt like at the time I started the trend, but I'm sure it was just like those trends were finally catching up and these kids were just like into the same bands and stuff that I was into, so they were dressing like them. But anyway, so yeah, I always felt like I was ahead of the curve in Wyoming. So yeah, the reason I know mullets used to be in is because all of my cousins, husbands, and friends in Wyoming last time we were there all had mullets, and I was like, this must have been in style a couple of years ago, and I missed it because now it's in style here in Wyoming. So, rawr, yeah. Hi, Matt. I'm 10 times more productive with AI, and I actually finish most of my personal coding projects compared to before. Really? That's good. I mean, that's good, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I truly do think that AI for coding is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's because coding is not front-facing, like forward-facing. You know what I mean? Like, if a user is using a website, they're not seeing the code, you know? And so there's no pulling the wool over their eyes, you know? Like, it's not like they're seeing the website and being like, wow, this is amazing that this developer was able to code this. Like, no one really is thinking that. They might be thinking like, wow, this website's really cool, you know? And that's it. And that's fine. But I think the difference is that when you are like looking at art and you're like, oh my God, you created this art? And someone's like, yeah, totally did. And they're like, this is absolutely like mind blowing. I love this. This is so cool. Like, can I get this tattooed or whatever? Or I'm going to print this and put it on my wall or whatever. I think it's really disingenuous if that artist actually just generated that with AI. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like a website or a game or whatever that has code in the back end that was like generated by AI, it's like, I don't know, like the user doesn't know about that anyway. So like, what does it matter if it was made by AI or you, as long as the end result is there? I think that's totally different than looking at art and like feeling something from it and then thinking that person like created that with their blood, sweat, and tears, you know? And then that person being like, yeah, totally did. I made that. And not saying like, no, actually it's AI generated. So, you know, There's just like a difference there, you know? Maybe I'm crazy. But anyway, yeah, I think using AI as a tool is definitely the way to go. And I think if you're not using it, or if you're like actively avoiding it, it's gonna be like the artists from, you know, the 1800s, whatever, who like were actively avoiding and like shunning cameras, you know, when cameras were first starting out. Like, I think it's just sort of like the same thing. Like, it's just a new tool to create something. And I think if you are afraid of it, or you really don't like it, you're just gonna be hurting yourself in the end. Can we do some work now? You guys haven't got me so distracted. Hello? We're just gonna put some clusters around. I don't want to go crazy. This is supposed to be kind of a smaller level. And we'll like go through and customize the clusters and clean them up. Okay. Let's get rid of this guy. This guy. Your payment for the previous art critique. Thanks, Didi. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, though. I hope it helped. I hope you guys were able to elevate the design a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's looking pretty good. These guys, we'll have to move these guys around once we get some art in for them, probably, because I don't know what they're gonna look like. I know there's not gonna be one there. Not you. Oh, that's not the right. That's fine. Anyway, it's looking better. We need to fix this guy. That'll technically work in game no matter what, but. B, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Hey, Sky. Yeah, I don't know. I truly think what's gonna happen, like, people are talking about using AI to, like, you know, the AI will like code the whole game or whatever, and, you know, generate all the art for you and everything. But I actually think what's gonna happen is, in the future, I don't think we're gonna have game engines at all. I think you're gonna create like a mood board sort of for a game, and a list of like features or mechanics or whatever, with some rules or whatever, all through prompting essentially. And you might have like a database or something, or like I think you probably have like some sort of user interface with like a spreadsheet sort of thing in it, with like all the features and like all the details about those features and all the rules and everything. And I think then like our game engines whatever are just gonna generate the game on the fly. Like, I think that's where we're heading. Like, we can already do image generation and it's pretty fast. So I think in the next 10 or 15 years, whatever, if we can get to that next level of computing, and I think it's gonna be like, we might need like quantum computing for this. I don't know. I know we're like on the cusp of that too. So I don't know. Or maybe like we just need another breakthrough. Who knows? But I think what's going to happen is we're just going to have AI just literally generate each frame of your game for you on the fly. I think the hardest part for AI is remembering what is there already. So I think that's going to be difficult. Is like it keeping track of like, okay, there's a table in this corner, and on this table there's like 3 pieces of paper and this other thing or whatever. But I think that's going to be that's like 20-30 years from now probably. I think that'll be the that not I don't want to say like the final form of like gaming, because I think obviously we'll eventually get to the point where like all games are just like VR. Maybe not all games, but like I think a lot of them will just be like VR, like you just hook in. I mean, I'm talking like hundreds of years from now, you know? Like I don't think we're gonna have like screens in front of our faces. I think we'll step into it, you know? If the human race even lasts that long. Who knows? Who knows the way we're going? But yeah, I think the final form of like game engine is gonna be like, okay, I want to play a game about, you know, I want to play a fantasy exploration game, where I play a druid or something, right? And then I think that the engine's just gonna be like, okay, cool, here you go, boom, and then it's gonna pop you in, and you're just gonna be playing a game, and it's just gonna start generating like the world for you as you go through. I think it'll all just be generated immediately. And I think by that time, like AI will be so good that it won't have a problem like knowing what's gonna feel good and see and look good in that game, and what's gonna match and what won't match. And then I think at any time you can just like pause the game and say, hey, I don't want dragons in this game or something, or hey, I want some boss fights or something. And I think you can just customize your game as you go and like just play it like that. Do I think that's like the best for game development or like game design in general? Probably not. Like it's probably better to like play something from like a visionary's head rather than just like, you know, Joe Schmo down the street who just bought his, you know, his virtual gear or something, you know? I don't know. As long as AI can optimize games, otherwise I don't think it'll matter if no one can run an AI game. Yeah, no, I think we'll get to the point where hardware does that. Like, look at just, I mean, we're seeing very incremental improvements now with like PlayStation and Xbox and everything. But just compare like Super Nintendo, you know, to what we have now. Like playing, like I've been playing Spider-Man, and like it's like now it's like 5 years old, I think. I'm playing the remastered version on Steam. But I'm really excited to like get the newer versions of it, or the sequel or whatever, when I'm finished with this one. And Quinn's loving it too, which is probably why I'm loving it so much, because he sits on my lap and watches me play it, which is cool because he loves Spider-Man. But anyway, but if you like compare that to like, I don't want to say Spider-Man, but like just any game on like Super Nintendo, or like even original, like even further back than that, like look at Atari and stuff, like it's insane. Like I guarantee that if you were in the 80s playing an Atari right now, you would not be thinking about the future and thinking like they're probably going to have 3D games with like realistic graphics, and you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be thinking that. Like you'd be going, yeah, right, like that's probably never going to happen. So I think to say that games are not going to be optimized for hardware or whatever in the future would be, because I think that they already had optimization problems in the 80s too, you know, or late 80s, early 90s, whatever. So I think I don't think optimization is going to be a problem at all. I think it's a problem right now because I think a lot of AAA devs are trying to like, they're trying to make their games look as realistic as possible because that's like where stakeholders, whatever, and like shareholders think that players want to go, right? They think the players want realistic games, obviously, so that's what they're making. And in some cases they're right? There's a lot of gamers out there playing like Call of Duty and stuff, and they're like, man, I want this to look like photorealistic. And so that's why I think some of those games like the shaky, like what are they called? Not dash cam, what are they called? Body cam footage games right now are like going viral because people can't believe that they actually look like actual really realistic, like they actually look like that's actually happening, and people cannot tell the difference in some cases. Because like we are at that like final like uncanny valley like leap where I really do think like I don't know if it's going to be like the next wave of consoles or whatever. I don't think we're going to be there, but I think the next like maybe the next like a PC kind of wave, I think we'll see like next hardware wave. I think we'll see like it's pretty easy to like generate like hyper realistic, like looking like photorealistic stuff, because we're already kind of seeing it now. So I think seeing it in games wouldn't be a stretch right now. Optimizing that kind of stuff is a different story, obviously. So we'll see how that comes in. Did our music stop playing? No, it's just really quiet. DLSS, yeah. Hard to maintain spatial temporal consistency with that approach, but for some experience focused games, that generation approach could be really interesting. I think that that's what we'll get to eventually, no matter what. Maybe not every game will do that. Like, I couldn't imagine. No, I guess I could. I could totally see like AI like generating a game like this. You know, like I don't think that'd be a problem. This would even be easier, right? Like way easier. I think that's where we go. I think we get to a point where it's just sort of like it creates the game on the fly. Like we're already kind of seeing that in some places, like procedural generation and stuff like that. We're already sort of seeing like the precursor to that. So I truly, that's my theory, and that's like my prediction is within the next like 20 years, and hopefully I'm around streaming then, still, if that's a thing still in 20 years. So I can say, I told you guys, I told you this was going to happen, because I truly think that's where we're going. I really think it's going to be predictive, like generative, like game development, which I don't know. I don't know if I love or hate that, because one, it totally puts me out of a job pretty much. You know, the only thing I can think is like, sort of like I can generate like something in GPT and then share it, right? So I do think that you'll be able to like kind of like build out like the rule set of a game through like prompts or something, or just talking to an AI or whatever. And then once you have like a game that's really cool, I think you will be able to like eventually, I think you'll be able to just be like, okay, I want to share this experience with my friend or whatever. And then they'll just be able to like through essentially just like plain text, you know, like see it. And I think multiplayer will also be a like for sure thing by then. I think it'll be really easy to just add multiplayer and you'll both see the same things. I don't know. That's my prediction. It's a little crazy. I recognize that it's a little crazy, but I think that's where we're going. So, what else is there to do in this? We can add some grass in this level. Let's do that. I just want to do single. The grass kind of just like brings it to life, because then it starts, everything's sort of animated then. And it lets me kind of like scatter, excuse me, scatter outside the level a little more. Some stuff out here. I think we let the player go a little too far to the left. We'll just tighten the bounds a little bit. I don't really have a problem with like seeing nothing out in the void. It would be nice to have like maybe a couple trees out here or something. Look. Just so it doesn't feel completely like empty and weird. I think we're there. Oh, these drop leaves now. Jana. I literally designed, there we go. I designed these bushes to drop this. They look the same. That's okay. I actually kind of like they drop leaves too. They look fine. Try with that one. These ones are a little annoying to click. I love the Sims music, man. Give me vibes. They blend in a little bit, but I think it's fine. I wonder if we should make them, like, after they pop out and they stop moving, if they should, like, wiggle or something. So you don't miss them. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so once we have the dirt piles, I think this level's pretty much decorated and finished. I kind of want to do like some fallen logs that you can shake. Mostly just for decoration purposes, but... Oh, they could drop mushrooms. I think I'll do that when I end stream. We get stuff from the grass. No, the grass is not clickable. It's just decorative. Anything that's not clickable doesn't like turn into a finger when you go over top of it, so you'll know. Hey, and they drop pine cones now. Yeah, I think this level is pretty much done. Just need that, and I think I will put some logs in to get the mushrooms. Oh, unless Jana has somewhere to get the mushrooms from. He wants 2 mushrooms. I assume they're collectible. Oh, they probably come out of the dirt piles, duh. In which case, maybe I'll just... Yep. Maybe we'll just scrap the dirt piles and I'll just do, like, stumps and, like, logs. Just because it'd be fun to have in the levels and add a lot of detail to them, I think. So, this road, I'm starting to regret. Because it's sort of like... It adds this weird, like, effect where these guys up here seem like they should be smaller than these guys up here, but they feel like this guy feels huge because he's the same size as this guy, but he's further back in the level. And because the road's doing this, it makes it feel like a lot more depth, which is just kind of strange. Also, these guys need to go up a little bit. I don't know if that actually works. I think they actually have physics. Yeah. Because these guys and this. Okay, I think we fixed him. Oh, that guy's still sinking through a little bit. I think I just need to open our enemies, probably. It's probably just all characters, actually. We just need to move their character up. I'd rather them just floating a tiny bit than have them clipping through the ground. They're still clipping a little bit. I don't know if that's actually just solving the problem or if it's in the code where they're like snapping to 0. Yeah, they're still doing it. It might be in their move code right here. Let's set them to like 3. That mostly fixed it. Let's just go 5. The problem with this is the reason that code was there in the first place is because these guys were sometimes appearing ahead of these things, but I think we've resolved that. I hope. Okay, that looks fine. Right, I need to make a new material for this though, because we broke our other level. So let's fix that first, and then I think Jana has a meeting at in 30 minutes, so we're probably gonna wrap up here soon. Save that level. Check it out. Yeah, we broke these roads. These look terrible. Wait, these are supposed to be dotted lines anyway. Okay, let's go to our road spline. I did this. And let's set this to, let's just do maybe we just set this to none. Oh, we do is valid. Okay, solve that problem. Now let's go back to the other level. What is this? It's fine. Okay, we don't want this color, so we want to do, oh, in this case, this dirt material. Okay. Great. Done. Okay. Let's check out. How are we doing for viewers? Should we raid somebody? 30 viewers. Okay, we'll raid somebody. We're skipping this one. Let's go find somebody to raid. Unreal is live right now. I don't just want to raid Crimson again, because I feel like that's who we always raid. They're doing a UEFN build along. Unreal. Trying to find somebody to raid. Maybe we don't raid anybody. How about... Whenever I want to raid someone, I'm always like, let's find someone using Unreal Engine. And I can never find anyone. Oh, this looks awesome. Let's go here. This looks really cool. Easy choice. / raid. Go. Oh, ads. We're not gonna have time for the ads pop up. That's okay. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. If there are ads going on, I'm so sorry about that. There shouldn't be. And I will see you on Thursday. Pretty sure. I don't think there's anything going on Thursday that I won't be able to stream, so I should be here Thursday for sure. And I will catch you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Thanks for the subs and for being awesome. Thank you for all the links, Angel. If you guys like the content, don't forget to follow or subscribe if you don't want ads, or to check out the YouTube or Steam and wishlist the game or buy Swords of Magic, whatever. Anyway, hey guys, bye. Have a good one.